We got a young lady that's going to come up here and tell you what Rainbow's done for their family. She hasn't been with us a long time. She went out and earned a TV. And are you nervous, Amber?
No.
Good.
I'm good. So I was going to share with you today just how we got involved in Rainbow. Actually, Tom came out to my house and did a demo for me back in February with a good friend of mine. She was trying to earn her free machine. And at the time, we never saw ourselves being salesmen of this particular product. My husband had his own business for 15 years, and to be able to go into full-time ministry, actually sold his business, and we moved out to the country, started building our house, sold our old house. So that's kind of where we were when Tom came to our house. We were building, and we have 4 kids. We actually had a fairly newborn, maybe 4 months old at the time that he came. And so, we were not like, oh yeah, we're going to go do this. But about in May, my husband and I were like, let's just, because I think our friend was like, hey, Amber, did you ever call Scott? Did you ever check into that? And I was like, no, maybe we should, So anyway, we're like, well, part-time, maybe we could do that. So my husband and I actually came in for training, and we brought Asher along with us. He was like 4 months old, and hung out with Scott in the office, and we were doing the videos. And as Paul and I were, just acting out the demo and doing that, I just fell in love with it. I was having fun and just kind of, go along. Paul's like trying to do it, and I was like, all right, I got this. So a few months, about a month or so later, we're doing the 3 and 15 program, and I was amazed at how it just went, and we just loved it, enjoyed it. And so the main thing I want to share with you guys is, don't pre-qualify people and say, oh, they'll never do the business, because here I am, a homeschooling mother of 4, and we do it. We make time. We do the YouTube. I was nursing and watching YouTube. I was doing dishes or cooking and watching YouTube. Running down the road, watching or listening to YouTube. So, you can train yourself and get it done. And, and when this is such an amazing opportunity for income and the amount of time that I've spent on being able to do it, I tell you, it's a blessing. It's huge, And so there's so many families that we go in and out of their homes that need something like this. And so don't, think, oh, they'll never do it, because I'm doing it. And I'm just in my 21st thing yesterday. So get there. So, I just want to share that with you guys, just to go for it and share.
All right. Okay, last week she went out and sold 3 machines. So she made 700, 700, and 350. That's not a bad deal. And a free TV. It's not a bad deal. But see, guess what? That's the talent scout you want to find. That right there's that talent scout, the housewife that's looking for something else to do. And we're going to talk about a couple other things about that we're talking about. And you'll see how it all just starting to fall in pieces.
And how many hours did you put in last week, would you say?
Last week,
making phone
I think
calls.
I did 7 demos, right? 6 or 7? 6?
Probably
Anyway,
6.
so about 20-ish. 20.
Good part-time job. But with a full-time income, better than full-time income. See, and that's where the deal is, and that's where it makes a difference. So we've got that. Okay, so we've got that program where you go in and 25 sales. She's only 4 sales away. She'll start making 1,000. And you know what the nice thing about last week was? One of them was a credit card. Another was a credit card. Another one was a 100%er. So she's 10 days, 2 weeks away from that. She'd had a $3,000 check. Okay, now I'm going to also tell you how creative she is. And you guys need to listen to this. Somebody went and she got looking around and she found a little tiny home show to her own that was in a church.
No, it was a gift of health food store.
At a health food store. She set up a booth. She did the whole thing, and Sarah helped her. Thank you, Sarah. And that's where those leads came from. But if you take a look at the one she sold last night, it was a cash sale. It was a check. And it came off of one of the owners of that. She has her green lights working. She has her customer books working. She has the leads working. She went out and worked a home show. She's working all of it. This is what we're looking for. And the part that you need to start looking at is you need to start looking at becoming a team leader. Okay, the new program with a team leader is you go out and get 3 active team members. And when you go out and get 3 active team members and they sell a Rainbow, guess what you get? You got $1,000 to pay the finance fees, to pay the gifts, to pay the commission. So let's say the finance fees 10%. There's $250. Let's say there was $20 worth of gifts. Let's say their commission was $350. What does that add up to? $620. that means you made $380 off of that sale. Okay, there's some catches though. They have to be active. What do you think active ought to be? How many demos a month? We're going to set it right now. You guys get to fix it. How many demos a month does a person need to be active?
10?
Very active. Full-time or part-time?
I don't care what they are. I don't have a title on them. See, you can have part-time work and have a full-time income.
About 7.
I say 8 to a week.
Am I the boss still? Evie's not here, so let's do 6.
6.
Oh, wow.
Is that fair?
That is
Or one sale.
6 demos or 1 sale.
Is that fair? That's active. Okay?
That won't scare people away.
Yeah.
That's what you're trying not to.
No, I don't want to run them off, but then they're active. Okay, now let's say you get 3 people and you start collecting $1,000 commissions and figuring that. Okay, there are some catches to it. You got to do the payroll. You got to do the paperwork. You got to call them daily. You got to manage them. But we will have classes on how to do that. And you'll start understanding all of that because what it is, it's a training program to get you one more level up. Okay, now, if you fall down and you lose a person, you better keep talent scouting. You better have 4 active. Does that make sense? You've got to work with them because if we're going to share our profits, because here's the deal. You're going to manage them, you're going to motivate them, you're going to work them. I don't have a problem giving you my profits on it. It's worth it to me. You know, I'll give you an example. Here's a worksheet right here of, well, let's go back. You know the $1,000 level? Here's a paycheck for 1 week. This is Alan's. 1 week, $4,161. 1 week.
Awesome.
1 week. If that was just, he only worked only that week all month. That's a $50,000 a year income. That's 1 week. So when I say that person can make $4,000 a month, I would say that that's correct. If there's not enough of those to pass around, but some of you won't need them. But that's the $1,000 commission level. Okay, now the next step to it is becoming a team leader. And right here is Christy Sorrell that went out and made $348 off of her new Talent Scout sales in 1 week. Now, for those of you that are brand new, it's like, well, that's not bad. It could be better. But see, the old program used to be that you go out and you get a Talent Scout, and if it was a Class A deal, that means it had to be an 85%er, which neither one of these were. You got a letter, and if you stayed long enough or you had enough people, you might get a rainbow. But I'm going to tell you right now, I never liked that program. Because you know how many dealers got a free rainbow? And they couldn't give it away. They would completely shut down selling because the profit line was so high, they couldn't sell it. There's periodically, I'd have to grab a sales manager, go sell the dang thing for them. Or I'd have to grab it and take it out and sell it for them. And then all of a sudden, once it was gone and they got the money, they'd go right back to selling the same way they were. So we're going to eliminate the problem. So that's how the Talent Scout program works. You can literally get 3 Talent Scouts. They're working. They're active. You can take and capture all the extra profit off their sales. You don't have to do the payroll. I do the payroll because we're working on a couple things to streamline it. The team leaders turn all the payroll in. Alan, get with Alan if you're out of this office because he's the one that does it here. He'll make sure it's done. If you want to start learning it, get on it because here's what we're going to do. If your payroll is not turned in on Friday, you won't get paid on Saturday. You'll get paid on Monday when it's turned in. Because I can't be doing payroll all day Saturday. So we're going to start putting responsibility in there for the extra money that you're making. But that's the Talent Scouting program. Okay.
Now, Amber, explain that,
Explain.
what he just said about how are you going to build your team and the benefits of building your team?
Oh, there's lots of benefits. I just gotta get it. I gotta go find more clones like me, and then
Let me tell you what, let me tell you who the best talent
understand
scouts
what
are.
he just said,
I was kind of distracted. I watched the video.
okay? See, what I want you guys to understand, and Scotty, I hate to butt in here, but
You're fine.
when I go around the country and I visit RGD, sometimes I have to really prod and probe them to loosen up the purse strings, if you know what I mean. And because it's got to be a win-win deal here. Scotty's the other way around. I got to make sure that he don't
Don't
give
give
everything
it
away, okay?
Thank
To get the volume. But this is the deal.
The water, thank you.
Just think about it. If I'm in your seat today, and I can make a grand sale, and I go in and I recruit somebody, and let's just say they sold 2 a month, okay? And I recruit somebody else and they sell 2 a month, just average 2 a month, and I get somebody else, and I could get 6 sales out of them, plus 1 a week or 2 a week out of me. How much money could you make? Okay, the average is probably, and I'm an average guy. I don't worry about the high and the low. Hey, what's the average, and I'm gonna go to work. Okay, the average that you're going to get is probably around $250 to $300, and let's just say it's $250. Well, how many $250 do you want to make? See, that's the way I think. Okay, if everybody that I recruit's going to sell me 2 rainbows, how many 250s you want to make? And see, I don't know, but I promise you, by what Amber said up here in her story of starting the rainbow business, what if she got her group up to 8 or 10? I was in a meeting in Muskogee, Oklahoma the other day. That lady had 12 people in her living room at the double wide trailer house. But, you know, they were sitting on 21 at that particular time, and it's about the 15th of the month. Do you think it's a good part-time opportunity or a full-time opportunity? So I just want you to get the full benefits of what he's trying to tell you guys. You don't have to stay where you're at. I've always won. What's next? What's next? Where do I go next? What do I have to do to get that raise? And Alan, I was always chasing something. Every day when I woke up, I knew what I was chasing. I knew what I was after. May not hit it that day, but I knew which way my target was. And most of us that I've seen wake up and wonder if we have a demo. But that's a shame. That's a shame. That's not what our business is about. Our business is about you growing your group and you making a pocket full of money. That $4,100, that is nice. I want to make that every week. Alan, you know why? Because you can. I think we're just talking about 4 or 5 sales, and you add that to your group. Just like Andrea, she's got a couple of 3 in her group now, and I promise you keep doing what you're doing, okay? Tweak it just a little bit. In 90 days, you'll be selling 35 out of your group. Not a bad deal. But Scotty, I'm sorry. I just wanted them to get the. You got to get it.
Okay, now here's the nice thing about it is, you don't have to. It costs you nothing to bring them in.
That's right.
I make the entire investment. You don't have to get a demo kit. You don't have to find a trainer. We got a marketing department for them. We got shows to help. We've got people to help with leads. We've got Alan that can go out. They can watch Alan. We've got Crystal. They can go out and watch Crystal, or they can go out and watch them. We've got Georgia Brown that can go out and help them. So you've got a complete staff here. Everything's in place. You know, I told you my goal was to be selling 100 out of my retail market. That was my goal. My goal is now 150 by March. And we hit 150, we start getting close, it'll go to 200. Because see, what we'll do is we'll start getting those little pockets out there. People out of their house. How many little residential distributors could we have scattered all over Houston? How many of them do you want that's you're making $100, $200, $300 off? Because when you start counting, it gets big. And that's where the difference is. Okay, the next guy that's going to come up and talk is a guy that's going to talk about going from 0 to 60. Did you know that? Well, get up here. Tell them what Rainbow's done for you.